maintaining a budget. Check out this section to learn smart ways to save, how to stay on track, why you need to revisit your budget regularly. Now that you've started thinking about budgeting, it's common to ask two questions. How can I boost my income? And how can I reduce my expenses? When tackling the first question, it's important not to increase student loan borrowing to boost income. You may qualify to borrow more, but it's wise to only borrow what you need. If you can find a way to borrow $2,500 less in student loans for 4 years, you could save almost $15,000 in student loan payments. If your schedule is already jam-packed or you've exhausted all employment options, the next best way to make your budget work is to reduce expenses. So how do you do that? Now that you've started tracking your expenses, you'll soon have a ton of helpful data to analyze your spending. And when you have that income and expense information, start to see how it fits into the 50-20-30 style of budgeting. The 50-20-30 budget encourages you to put 50% of your income to essentials like housing, food, and transportation. Are you spending more than 50% on essentials? If so, maybe you need to add a roommate, move closer to campus, buy less expensive groceries, or be creative in stretching your food budget by making less expensive meals. In our 50-20-30 budget, 20% of your income is going toward building a financial cushion or paying off high-interest debt. That may seem impossible to you right now, so before we take on that battle, let's talk about the final 30% of your budget. This 30% of your budget is for lifestyle choices. These are your non-essential expenses. And here's a good example of how to differentiate essential versus non-essential expenses. In college, you may try to cram 25 hours into a single day. The end result may be a need for a daily cup of joe. Buying grounds at the grocery store and brewing up a cup for about 50 cents can be part of your essential budget. However, buying a $4 coffee at a cafe is a non-essential expense and must be considered a lifestyle choice. Grocery store food is essential. Dining out and paying for someone to whip up your coffee instead of making it at home is non-essential. Highlight your non-essential expenses in your money journal. If you find they're more than 30% of your budget, determine what could be cut. Find the items that give you the least amount of enjoyment and create ways to cut them from the budget. Can you cut cable, ditch your gym membership, eat in, share wireless, skip movies, or eliminate ATM fees? All of these are non-essential expenses. Your desire to cut these expenses could be even greater if you're using credit cards to finance these luxuries. If you charge your weekend pizza splurge over 4 years, you could end up spending about $900 in interest charges alone. Eliminate that pizza craving, and you could eliminate a future expense. Although, remember, you might not even know you're overspending unless you're tracking. The National Foundation for Credit Counseling found that 61% of American adults don't track their money, but you'll be different. Here are a few ways to remember to stay on top of your financial tracking. 1. Tell a friend that you're budgeting. Just like quitting smoking, training for a race, or studying for a test, having someone to support you is a benefit. 2. Set reminders on your calendar. 3. Make it part of your evening routine. Brush your teeth, wash your face, track your daily spending. 4. Or if you track weekly, pick an hour each week when you check in with your budget. Once tracking has become a habit, make sure you're revisiting your budget frequently because your costs will fluctuate. Say you have a job on campus. It's convenient and works around your academic schedule. Because it's so close, your transportation costs are low. However, you are in a great internship downtown and have to take the bus or even pay for parking. You'll have to see how you can squeeze this added expense into your budget. Having flexibility to adjust your budget is important. Happy budgeting!